So recently, I had the opportunity to interview the conductor of the Naruto, the Symphonic experience, and here's what she had to say.
So first off, what is the Naruto and the symphonic experience?
Our show is a cool amalgamation of seeing the Naruto anime on the screen, along
Mhm.
with the whole show being accompanied by a live orchestra, as well as singers, and we have a band and an orchestra combined. So we're kind of like taking, some of the favorite moments of the 220 episodes of the show
Mhm.
and finding a way to get a storyline through there so anybody who is a fan of the series can appreciate it, but people who don't know the series as well can also understand what's going on.
All right.
So you get to see a bunch of different clips from the series,
Mhm.
and we are playing along to all of the scenes, all of the sequences, some of the credit scenes. So it's some of people's favorite music from the show. And yeah, it's a
Awesome.
2.5 hour long show where we just try and get a lot of material and a lot of
Mhm.
music.
Right. And with 220 episodes, there's a lot of source material to go through. So, have you seen the anime before?
I've seen some of the episodes of it. I can't say I've seen all 220. Um, but I have just been becoming even more of a fan of the show as I've been involved with this musical.
All right. So what can fans expect to see or experience by attending?
I think they get to go through like all the emotions and all the ups and downs of the show with us. One of the things that we tell people right at the beginning is that we don't want them to think of it as like a stuffy orchestra concert or it has to be super buttoned up or anything.
Mhm.
Um, it we want the fans to go on the journey along with us. We want them to enjoy. We want them to yell and get excited for their favorite characters and their favorite moments because it makes it more fun for us on stage too. So I think just like them, I think people should expect to just go along on the journey with us and really have fun at the show besides just sitting there and listening.
And then, 'cause I know, like, I've seen other interviews where that you've done with people, and have you seen a lot of like cosplay at the shows?
Yes, definitely.
I don't know, just a sea of orange.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and so going through all that source material, like how do you curate the show?
Well, this has kind of been a team effort between a Japanese production team
Mhm.
and a French production team and our production team from the Netherlands and then our US production team as well.
Mhm.
So there's been a lot of people working on this, making the show. It was first produced overseas, and but it was a bigger orchestra at that point.
Mhm.
So we've kind of tried to figure out how to adapt the show for a 17-piece touring orchestra that we can bring to life in the US. And it's really been a team effort of because there's so many moving pieces in this,
Mhm.
figuring out the clips to use and then figuring out the songs
Mhm.
and figuring out just how to meld them all together and make them work in a live setting as well. Because, most of these songs were produced in a studio, and that's
Mhm.
not the same thing as performing
No.
them live 6 shows a week.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so it's a lot of work to get these type of
Mhm.
shows together, but I think it's a really good payoff too, because we get to see how much everybody enjoys them.
Nice. And so, okay, going into that, like, so what do you think the significance is of using Toshio Matsuda's in a traditional Japanese style, mixing it with rock and pop and all that stuff to create a show like this?
Well, I think that that's one of the coolest elements of the show in general, because we have traditional Japanese instruments like the shamisen and the shakuhachi,
Mhm.
which is a Japanese flute. And I mean, I think the majority of the audience will have never seen those instruments performed live before. And
Mhm.
so, besides just getting to enjoy the audio aspect of it, you
Mhm.
get to see besides seeing all the anime on the screen,
Mhm.
you get to watch these instruments being played, which is a very unique experience.
Mhm.
And I mean, like, I haven't conducted orchestras necessarily with shakuhachi and shamisen as well.
Mhm.
So I think seeing those instruments featured along with hearing all of the all of the themes and songs that people are coming to hear adds a really exciting element to the show.
Yeah. Okay, I know you've done like Demon Slayer
Mhm.
and the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
How does this show differ uh, emotionally or performancely between them?
I think all of these shows are like a little different just in the way they're set up. Like things like Spider-Man, we were underscoring a movie, so underscoring a piece of material that people had already seen, so people knew what to expect going in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for Demon Slayer and Avatar and Naruto, each one of those I kind of call like some of their greatest hits.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are coming into the show and they know the source material we are pulling from, but they
Mm-hmm.
don't know what the show will look like and sound like as a whole. So I think um that adds an exciting element to it
Mm-hmm.
because people are seeing something for the first time. So it's like seeing a movie for the first time. And so that's kind of what we've done with those shows. In
Mm-hmm.
terms of the musical parts of each one of these shows, each one of the orchestras has been different. You know, with Spider-Man, we had a live DJ. With Avatar, it was a different orchestration and didn't have shakuhachi or shamisen. It
Mm-hmm.
has guzheng and three percussionists. And so for Naruto, it's one of the first ones I've done that's featured also like a live rock band. So we have electric guitar and electric bass and a drum set. And so we go from these very more orchestral moments to these rock band moments. And we also have two vocalists that we're
Mm-hmm.
featuring as well, Lauren Alexandria and Caleb Hiles. And that's been really fun because that adds they get to add the like pop punk and rock element of it with the rock band. And the audience gets very excited to get to hear them sing as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that's all I have. Is there anything you want to add before we end?
Um, no, nothing in particular. I would say that it's just it's a really cool show for all different ages and people who are fans of the show or don't know anime as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, People have really been loving it, and the energy every night has been very contagious.
Awesome. So, yeah, no. So just people just bring your tissues and your headbands and just prepare for a good time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, well, thank you for this.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
You too.